defense. It's way better than we thought. Like coming into the season, we're like, man, this is the year the offense is going to have to carry the team because no Robert Saleh. What can you really expect from DeMeco? Well, damn, he's exceeding my expectations. The defense looks just like last year.
Yeah, really, they've, other than a few drives this season, they've looked really good. I mean, the first, they held Detroit really to 17 points. They kind of got away from them at the end. A lot of that was them just playing soft, and they played a good game the next week against Philadelphia, and they held up pretty darn well, really, against Green Bay too. Other than a couple plays here and there. I just the biggest thing for DeMeco Ryans, and I think you can point to right now for his lack of his not lack of success, but his success this year has been what they've done with Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray these last 2 weeks. That's
really impressive.
Really impressive.
Not easy to do.
Yeah, and one of my favorite plays of the game actually is the play when Murray completes the pass along the sidelines to the rookie. To Moore. Because when you watch that, you can see that the defensive line is focusing on keeping him contained. You can see them, and he makes a great play, but they were doing everything they could to make him have to beat him with his arm.
And he ends up like throwing a pass that probably had like a 3% chance of being completed. Like you just tip your cap, to use a baseball metaphor. Okay, nice throw. You're never going to do that again. So you got one. Okay. But we're going to keep playing this way, and over a 4-quarter game, we're going to win. And they played good enough defense to win. Absolutely.
Taking that route is what put them in position and helped them to hold them to only 17 points. And the second couple of those catches by Hopkins, I mean, you can't defend those. The guy's falling on his back, reaching up and grabbing the ball as the ball's going over his head and stuff like that. That touchdown grab, and you can't. That's not on the defense at all. I just felt like they played really good the last couple of weeks, and the offense has just completely let them down.
And it's not just let them down, but it's totally overshadowing them. All the discussion on the team is Kyle Shanahan and the coach and the quarterbacks, and the fact that they haven't decided on one and who's better. Who cares? What about the defense? The defense is playing well. They deserve credit. They deserve ink and accolades. DeMeco Ryans looks like he has the Robert Saleh combination of brains and leadership. He's got it both. Looks like he's the real deal. And as a former player, if he can demonstrate that this year, he could be a head coach next year. I mean, Brandon Staley was a coordinator for 1 year. DeMeco looking good. He could be in and out. Maybe not 1 year or 2, but you never know. Something to keep in mind. These guys come and go. Saleh was tough to see him leave. If Kyle needs to be traded in the offseason, the new general manager might want to look at DeMeco. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, he might want to. Nick Bosa is playing really well, and they're just doing a really good job up front. And the only thing that I would say was a negative was at the end of the game. They're down 17-10. They kick off, and they have their backup defensive line on the field. That's the one thing that I will say made no sense to me.
Now, I do think Chris Kosterick decides that, but if I see that, I wonder if like Chris Kosterick made the decision and DeMeco didn't feel like he was in a position to call timeout and make a change. Was it one play or was it an entire series?
It was at least the first couple. I know that for sure. There was
scary
because they had Key was in there, and the only guy that was.
I'll ask him on Thursday. Yo, yeah.
Yeah,
the job, and I'm trying to praise you, but this one thing, that one thing.
Yeah, the only starting defensive lineman that was on the field was DJ Jones. Everybody else was the backups. It was at least when we watch it on film, we'll see it, but it was like 2 or 3 plays.
Real quick, I didn't talk to you about this. I understand that the analytics is in favor of going for it on 4th down most of the time. And on that 4th and 4 at the end of the game, I saw the analytics says definitely go for it. And I think that's probably why the Niners did it. I'm sure they have the same numbers. But dude, situationally, you already failed to get 3 of them. You're only down 3. Your defense is playing so well. You drafted this punter who specializes at pinning other teams inside the 10. What did you think of that decision? That one decision?
I didn't like it. I didn't like any of them really. I mean, I shouldn't say any of them. I didn't like the one when they went for the 4th and 2. I think it was 4th and 2, right? When early in the game on their first drive, or
And they
whatever
could've
drive
kicked
that
the
was,
field goal,
the
right?
second drive. Yeah, that it was going to be a 51-yard field goal attempt, so you can't say for sure it was going to be good. But later in the game, he kicked one from 5 yards closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
And he's
on a
known
fourth
for
and
having a huge leg. I'm not
yeah,
saying he's a great kicker, but he definitely doesn't lack power.
right. But at the end of the game, when it was 17-7, and they were in a similar spot on the field, he kicks the field goal.
Yep.
So for me, my line of thinking is
Consistency.
there's no consistency, but also you've got to get points when you have a chance.
Yeah.
And especially early in the ball game, because if you just get points, it changes the flow of the game.
Yeah.
Going out there and going for it on that 4th and 2 and getting stuffed, and then that gives momentum to Arizona.
Right.
Going for it on 4th and goal from the 1 and getting stuffed, you're now, instead of having it be a 7-6 ball game, you're down 7-0, and all the momentum is still with the other team because they're still kicking your butt because you don't have any points on the board. And I know that the metrics and the analytics and whatever you want to say tell you that it's better to go for it in those situations, but I'd rather have it had it at 7-6. And if everything else plays out the same way that it did, the Friars are up 13-10 at one point in the second half.
That's right. That's right. Because they
game,
basically gave away 6 points by going for it so many times.
Yeah, it's just
the last one from they couldn't have kicked it from the 48, but you could have punted and pinned them at the 12, at the 10, at the 7, at the 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and your point again there. That's a really good point. Instead of going for it there, you punt the ball, you pin them back.
4th and 4, not 4th and 2, 4th and freaking 4, and you have a quarterback you don't trust, an offensive line you don't trust. I mean, really, how confident were you in that call? And what happened? He got his pass tipped, just like every other pass.
Well,
damn.
At that point in the game, your defense had been dominating.
Yes, and you're trying to win with your offense essentially on 4th and 4. Why?
Put them back. Yeah. Let them try to let your defense stop them again, and then get one more chance where you have a chance to go down and win the game.
Series on first, yeah, exactly.
It's
a Bill O'Brien playbook. This will do it. If I go for it on 5 times, what do you think? Maybe 6? Do I need to do 6? 5 will do it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's why I don't know. Do we have any more questions, or is that it?
No. Well, we were going to answer some questions.
Okay, I was just going to say real quick. That's why you had tweeted out today about Kyle Shanahan and his response to your question yesterday. Yeah. And I would joke. I know I jokingly threw out the Jim Mora.
Playoffs.
Take.
Yeah, that's essentially what he said to me, just without. And like not as an entertaining way.
Yeah, it was exactly what he said without the inflection. All the way down to, when you listen to it, Boris talking about all the turnovers and all that kind of stuff. What he talked about. Well, that's essentially what you did by going for it on 4th down and turning the ball over. It's the same thing. Those are turnovers.
Turnovers.
They had 5. The Friars had 5. The same number that Mora's Colts had in that game. 5.
That's a good point. I mean, really, why did they lose to the Cardinals? They turned the ball over 5 times.
Exactly. Playoffs.
I love that. It's so good. Is he still alive?
I think so. Pretty sure he is. I sure hope he is.
His son's a nice guy too. I've interviewed Jim Mora Jr. a bunch of times. He's hella nice. I like him a lot.